2.4, the recent past continuous tense. So we've already learned the simple recent past tense, which means I did something in the past. We're now going to look, when you're looking at an action that was taking place in the past, and similar to the English construct, I was learning or I had been learning. To create the recent past continuous tense, we are simply going to be adding a prefix to our subject concord, and that is the prefix be. And you'll notice that the verb still continues to end on an a. So if you remember, we spoke about the short and the long form of the recent past tense, which was indihambe or indihambile. But when we do the recent past continuous tense, you still have that a at the end, and you're just adding the be to the front of the concord. Now when our subject concords start on a consonant, that's fairly easy. It literally just has be added to the front. So ndihamba would be the present tense. I am walking. I was walking. Bendihamba. When our subject concord starts on a vowel, there's slight more variation. So for example, you are walking is uhamba, but you were walking will be ubuhamba, and he or she was walking ebehamba. The plural concords are slightly simpler, with that be on the front there, besihamba for we were walking, benihamba for you plural were walking, and then there's slight variation there for they were walking. In the present tense we would say bahamba, they are walking, and the past tense bebehamba, they were walking. We see the same trend for our noun classes, our 15 noun classes, where the recent continuous past tense is created by adding a be to the front of the subject concord. Now you might remember in one of our previous sessions we spoke about strong and weak noun classes. And in our strong noun classes that start with a consonant, so for example, noun class 5 or noun class 7, you can see there's just literally just a be added to the front of the subject concord. So these are very easy to remember. The ones that are a little bit trickier are our so-called weak noun classes. So the subject concord usually starts with a vowel. So for example, in umtwana, the subject concord is u, and you'll notice here the subject concords has got the be incorporated, but not necessarily at the front. They're not important to learn these, but you want to be able to start recognizing them, for example, when you hear people speaking or when you are reading something in Xhosa. And lastly, we want to look at the negative of our recent past continuous tense, and that is when you're saying I was not doing something, or I haven't been doing something. And here you'll see a form of the negative that is used in various constructs that is new to us. So we have seen, for example, with the recent simple past tense that we simply added the a to the front, but the recent past continuous do not use those negative subject concords. What they're going to use is they're going to use the normal recent past subject concords that we've just learned. So for example, that bendi or ubu. But what happens is a nga is added between your prefix and your verb. And the only way that you can also see the negative here is that your verb is actually ending on an I. So for example, if you want to say I was not walking bendingahambi, or you were not walking ubungahambi, or he or she was not walking ebengahambi. And that can be confusing, as in ga, if it's also used when we want to say you may do something, but then the vowel will always be ending on an a. So it's useful when listening to Xhosa, when reading Xhosa, to look out for the verbs ending on an I, because that actually indicates a negative sense. And the same rule will apply for all of our noun classes as well.